The Miami Hurricanes are 1-0 after defeating UAB 31-14.
Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
What's going on, Canes fans? It's super late for me, and honestly, I should probably be in bed, but I'm just sitting here thinking about this game, so I figured why not? I already made a mess. Let's just go ahead and dive in and talk about my initial reaction to this game and just talk about the game in general. Now, I do really quick want to give a huge shout out to my college football family here on YouTube. We did hit our goal of 13,000 subscribers on this channel by the UAB versus Miami kickoff. And if I'm not mistaken, we actually gained over 300 extra subscribers during the live hangout. So that's huge. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. So let's talk about this game. I think that many Miami fans share the same feelings that I do. I'm happy that we got the win, but it felt a little underwhelming. And maybe I still just set my expectations too high for this team and for game one. But there are some positives that we can definitely talk about from this game. So let's get into those first. I'm going to take you over and we're going to take a look at some stats. And the first thing that I want to mention is our kicker, Jose Borregales, was 4 for 4 on extra points and hit a 25-yard field goal. Now, to many college football fans, this isn't that big of a deal, but us Miami fans know the struggles when it comes to special teams and a kicker, so I am so thankful. This is huge for us. Like, really, y'all, I ain't playing. Another big positive for Miami in this game is the fact that we racked up 337 rushing yards. I believe our highest total in 2019 was 257. So that's big time. And keep in mind that this is off of 52 carries. So that's an average of 6.5 yards per carry. We were screaming for a run game in 2019, and it absolutely struggled. And I think that for the 2020 season, this is a pretty good start. And speaking of good starts, De'Aaron King is absolutely an upgrade at the quarterback position for Miami. In this game, he was 16 of 24, throwing for 144 yards and 1 touchdown. He did also rush for 83 yards on 12 carries and 1 rushing touchdown. And what a beautiful run that was, where he hurdled a couple of UAB defenders to land in the end zone. And speaking of, that was the second highest amount of rushing yards for Miami in this game. Also, all of our running backs look the part. It's nice to have depth at the position. Knighton or Chaney are both good options to give the monster Cameron Harris a breather. And speaking of Cameron Harris, by the way, I know we all had a big scare in the game when he took that hit to his knee. In the presser after the game, he said that everything's all good. He's okay. So hopefully maybe just kind of bruised, something like that, and he can get back at it because we're going to need him in the Louisville game. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Jalen Knighton picking up more and more snaps as the season progresses because he's something special. Defensively, it's nice to see Nasty Nesta stepping up and making an impact. But this is where I'm going to talk about some negatives when we get into the defense. I personally feel like that defensively we looked slow, unenthusiastic, and sluggish, and we're still missing so many tackles. It was very apparent that UAB was picking on number 8 DJ Ivy, and I mean understandably so. I don't know what kind of technique he's using, but I'm seeing too many downs where he's not attempting to locate the ball and make a play. This was unfortunately an issue in 2019, and it appears, at least at the moment after game 1, to still be something that he's struggling with this season. Now, the defense did hold UAB to just 80 yards rushing, so that is definitely a positive. That's something good that we can talk about. And we do also have to remember that of UAB's 14 points, one of those touchdowns was actually after Pope fumbled a punt, and it set them up around the 20 or the 30-yard line, so they had excellent field position. I think that I just expected more disruption up front and maybe a pick or a fumble. I had predicted 2 or 3 turnovers in this game, and the turnover chain did not make an appearance tonight. And one more key thing that I want to bring up is on offense, Miami's deep ball has to be better. It's something that we were really excited about this season, right? The up-tempo spread offense, which of course the run game worked out pretty well for us this game, as we already discussed. But I'm not sure if on the deep balls, if it was just overthrown balls by De'Aaron King, or if it was a situation where the receiver wasn't running 100% and giving his all, or if it was just miscommunication, which there was a couple of scenarios where there was definitely some miscommunication, which we expected coming into especially game one, as again, there's some unique scenarios and protocols that players aren't used to and coaches, and this is game one after limited practices in the offseason. But given that the season is here now, I can't sit around and make a bunch of excuses, right? It's game time, so it's time to take care of business. But that doesn't change the fact that we expected it to potentially be slow and sluggish offensively and defensively in the first quarter. But I never really saw that chemistry or that connection, right? Like we did improve. I mean, we put up 17 points in the third quarter, but that spark, I guess, that I was looking for just wasn't necessarily there. And man, that bad pass to a wide open Peyton in the end zone that would have been a touchdown. We've got to see the wide receivers and the tight ends and the QB all on the same page and connecting on some of these deep balls. I just want Miami to pose a deep threat so bad. But I'm remaining positive, and I'm hopeful that Miami can learn from these mistakes, given the coaching changes and things that we've made and some of these players that we've pulled in, and we can get better. And I did already discuss a few stats previously in the video, but let's head over and take a look a little bit deeper. Miami, 25 first downs in this game, 7 of 17 third down efficiency, which is just okay. We were 2 of 2 on fourth down. One of those, of course, being the 4th and 1. Cameron Harris breaking off that 66-yard touchdown run. That was huge for us. Total yards, almost 500 yards of offense, which is not bad considering the way that this offense performed in the 2019 season. I think in this game, we had 78 or 79 plays total on offense, which is huge for us. That's a big-time upgrade. Passing, that's once again where I was a little disappointed. 158 yards, only 27 passing attempts, 18 of 27. I was expecting and hoping for more passing yards, but again, the run game racking up 337 yards kind of makes up for that. Penalties, I was very impressed. 3 penalties for 30 yards. When you take a look over here to the left at UAB, 11 penalties for 74 yards. That really hurt them a lot. So overall, some pretty disciplined football by Miami in game one. We did have the 1 turnover. Of course, not forcing any turnovers or fumbles for UAB. That's kind of rough on the defense. But the 1 fumble was pretty bad. I mean, Pope with the fumble on the punt, but he was immediately sat on the bench. And I believe that the next punt, it might have been Don Chaney Jr. Cameron Harris, huge night. 17 carries for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns with a long 66-yard touchdown run. He carried this offense tonight. Very impressed with Jalen Knighton and Don Chaney Jr., though, as well. 59 yards for Knighton, 52 for Don Chaney Jr. Receiving Brevin Jordan, 51 yards on 3 receptions and 1 touchdown. Nice to see getting the tight ends involved a little bit. You got to make sure you catch those balls, though, Brevin. We had that one that hit him right in the hands that would have been crucial, but he did get the 1 touchdown catch. Harley, 3 receptions for 27 yards. Wiggins was a target early, and then we kind of really didn't target him that often in the rest of the game. 3 receptions for 25 yards. I do think Wiggins could be a deep threat for us. Tallest wide receiver in the room, 6'3". So hopefully we can continue to get him involved. Pope, 2 receptions for 18 yards. Peyton, 1 reception for 13 yards. Cameron Harris, 4 receptions, 10 yards. Burns, 1 reception for 8 yards. And Few, 1 reception for 6 yards. We did only have 1 sack in this game, which is a little disappointing. from Quincy Roche. I was very impressed with Nesta, 5 total tackles. Again, I'm just touching on a few of them here and there. Mari Carter with 5 tackles. Jennings with 6 tackles. Ivy, definitely. Got to step it up, my man. Got to. But that's really going to be it for this reaction video. Once again, underwhelming in my opinion overall. I just expected more enthusiasm, more speed, a higher score on offense, more turnovers. But at the end of the day, I don't want it to seem like I'm just being a negative Nancy and I'm nitpicking everything. I just want to see this team succeed and get better. So yes, we are kind of constructively criticizing some things here and there, but once again, there are always some positives. At the end of the day, we did get the dub. Now, should we expect that against a team like UAB? Absolutely. That should be the standard for this program. But keep in mind that next week coming up, we have Louisville. Now, we get a look at them this Saturday against, I believe, Western Kentucky, but let's not forget Tutu Atwell. Who is going to be covering that guy? Because if I'm not mistaken, he posted up almost 150 yards on us in 2019. So we're starting the ACC play now, guys. And you've got to remember that the 2 teams with the highest win percentages compete for the conference championship. So we need to win the remainder of these games on our schedule. Every single one of these games is huge. And you best believe that if we come out slow and sluggish against Louisville next week, or if we spot them 1 or 2 touchdowns, it could be disastrous for us. So we've got to prepare and get ready both mentally and physically and be ready to take the field because it's on their home turf next week. But as always, let me know your reactions to the game, Miami versus UAB. Miami getting the dub 31-14. Some good things, some bad things. I'm so happy, though, I will say, to have college football because at one point we didn't know what was going to happen, if it was even going to be here. Let me know whether it's good things or bad things. Let's leave some constructive criticism. I'm not looking for hate, right? Everybody can always improve and get better day to day. So constructive criticism, we just want to see this team compete, and we want Miami to be great again. Thank you guys for watching the React video. Thank you for all the love in the live hangout. There will be a preview video coming up for Louisville very soon. Of course, the live stream the night before, plus the live hangout the day of. During the live hangout today, we hit 900 viewers, almost 1,000. That's absolutely insane. We're going to continue to grow this college football family and just have some fun. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. It feels good to be 1-0, guys. Coach Coop, peace out.